Hello guys. I want to do a drawing vlog today, talking about my drawing progress and stuff like that. Because I'm really happy. I feel like I've progressed, and yeah, I feel so good. Like my goal for drawing was always to like, if I want to draw something, I can draw it. Like because I love like video games, movies, and all that stuff, anime. So I always wish that if I wanted to draw, let's say Voltron or something like that, or a character from One Piece, I could just draw it and have fun doing it, and then at the end enjoy looking at it, the picture, and it kind of looks like how it's supposed to be and stuff. So yeah, you probably like if you watch my other drawing vlogs, yeah, it started a couple of years ago. I just decided I'm gonna start, instead of just saying I wish I could draw anime style, I'll just start practicing it. So I started with a book, Mastering Manga by Mark Crilly. So went through a lot of that, but I think a really big jump that did a lot of foundations, but a big jump for me was when I came across this. I was listening to a World of Warcraft podcast, and they talked to this artist called Fabelina, Faebelina, and she's a artist who draws lots of drawings from Blizzard games, particularly WoW. And so I listened to her, and then I checked out her what do you call it, Tumblr and stuff like that, and I really liked her style and stuff, and I liked her story because she just decided one day to do one drawing every day as a New Year's resolution, and she did that every single day. She would draw a picture, and in 9 months she progressed so much and stuff like that, and I just look at her stuff and it's so inspiring, and so she's been like a really big influence on me, motivating to like draw a lot. And so yeah, right now I'm right in the thick of things. One of her favorite artists was named Sycra, Sycra. He's on YouTube, and he has heaps of tutorials and stuff. And one of the videos that he did was this video about advice he would give himself if he met his younger version of himself, what he would tell himself to get himself up to how he is now. And he went through a list of things, and I have been going through that slowly myself. So the first thing I went through was some perspective videos. So talking about like how to make, points of perspective and stuff like that. Like stuff that I never really knew, was not very familiar with, but I went through all of that, and it's just good to know it. Like for some reason, even though I may or may not use it in my drawing, having the knowledge that I have learned it's just so makes me feel a lot better when I'm drawing it. And the same with the next step. After I finished that, the next step was anatomy, and I will do a book review about this book after this, because it deserves its own video because it's so good. Right now what I'm doing is going through the Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist by Stephen Rogers Peck. Okay, so that's recommended by Sycra, and I've been going through it. So the way I've been doing it, my routine is like, if I have a day where I'm not rushed in the morning, I'll wake up. As soon as I wake up, I'll do a let's play video of computer games, because that's fun. And then after that, that'll take me about half an hour. And then the next half an hour, I set my timer for my phone. Half an hour, I'll sit and go through this thing. And the things that I'm doing it on my tablet, my Wacom tablet, which you can see right there. It's the Intuos Pro. It's just like a graphics tablet, because I want to like multitask in that I'm learning anatomy, but also learning coordination with this thing as well, because getting used to like looking at the screen and then drawing down here, it takes a while to get used to, but for some reason it's just happening because I have to draw so many pictures from this book. Like I draw every single picture that I come across, so I read the thing, because I read it, and then every single picture that's in there, I draw a version of it myself, and if I want to, I'll do again, like twice or something like that. And without even trying, it's like helping my coordination of like drawing what looks like that onto the screen, and it's helping so much. And yeah, like I just, because Fabelina and Sycra both do via the tablet, and also this other guy, FZD or something like, yeah. So they go, you can do however you want. So even Sycra said you could just use the Cintiq and draw onto it. But I just like the idea of being able to do both. And especially, yeah, because then I can do videos where I can draw on the tablet, because I don't have a Cintiq. And this is like only I think it's like $400 or $500, whereas the Cintiq is like much more. But yeah, I like the idea of it, kind of like down here and then looking at the screen. I don't know, it just looks cool. Like you see, I don't know, I just like the idea of it. So it's been fun practicing that, and eventually I'm going to get good with that so that it's almost similar to drawing on screen or on paper. But anyways, so I've been slowly going through this book, and like I found out, I realized that I love doing anatomy. Like, I mean, the first thing that we learned in that was like drawing skulls, and I was just having so much fun drawing skulls. Like, I couldn't believe how much fun I was having drawing skulls, just from all different angles and stuff. It's funny, I'm a physio as well, so I've learned this anatomy before, but I was never as interested in it as I am now. Like, it just seems like, plus when I'm learning it now, it's like kind of like, oh yeah, I can come in handy for my work as well, but I don't really care. I mean, it's good, but I'm so into it just for the drawing. But the thing is, like, it's not like when I'm drawing now, like I necessarily think every time about like the anatomy of it, but the knowledge that I've gone through it, and it feels like solid. Like, I feel more solid, because before I did all this anatomy stuff, when I was drawing a person in action and stuff like that, it just felt like I don't know, floppy or guesswork or something like that. But now, like, when I'm drawing it, I sometimes can pull back and say, okay, so the bone would be here, and I draw like a line for the bones, and then just kind of a block for things. And I don't know, it feels so much better, like, having this anatomy knowledge, which is what I wanted. I really wanted to learn anatomy a bit more solidly than before, which was like having zero. I mean, I know anatomy, but not for drawing. But this book is fantastic, because I mean, if you went to a medical book to learn anatomy, you'd get all this extra information that, like, about nerves and all that stuff that you wouldn't necessarily need. Whereas this is like, it goes through each part of the body, like head, spine, ribs, scapula, shoulder blade, every bone, and it has like a few pages of text just talking about bones, and then it has lots of pictures about it. It's the best. Like, Psycho recommended it, and he said it's like fantastic, and I agree. Like, when I first bought the book, I was looking at it going, what am I going to learn from this? Like, it just looks like an anatomy book in a way, right? I mean, I kind of already know this stuff, and then I'm going through it, and I'm learning so much. It's just awesome. I love it. And so just like moments before I did this video, I finished the skeleton. So I've gone from the tip of the toe to the tip of the skull, all the way down to the arms, to the legs. And so I've learned out all the bones. I've drawn pretty much every bone in the body, the main ones, properly. I probably have not drawn all the teeth, but yeah, most of the bones I've drawn now. Like, and I just kind of know the angles and the proportions a little bit. Not like solid, but like I've got like a framework now. So yesterday I was drawing an undead warlock from World of Warcraft, and just when I was drawing it, I felt so much more solid, because I could just imagine where his body and his spine would be. You know, it's actually like not just it's not just the finished picture I'm drawing. I'm imagining like the inside, the skeleton, and then just outside part. I haven't learned about the muscles yet, because I don't know exactly where. You know how when you're drawing like a leg or something like that, and you know, I have to look at the picture to see where the muscles would be. But hopefully once I get through the muscles part of this book, I'll have more solid foundation of the muscles as well. That'll be exciting. But yeah, I want to show you, and that's where I'm up to with my learning and stuff. But I had so much fun yesterday, because I had a lot of time yesterday, so I decided I wanted to draw a picture. And so I was thinking, what will I draw? And I decided I'll draw an undead warlock. And the cool thing was, like, I spent hours on it, like, and I was lost in the time of when I did it. Like, I was in the city, and I just sat down at this food court in Melbourne Central and just started sketching, like this dude, and then I just sketched it. I looked at the reference picture, like of a toy, of a Warcraft toy, and I sketched it out and I drew it. And then the first thing I did was like, it looked alright, right? But I wasn't happy with it in that, because I'll show you what I mean. Oh man. I don't know. Oh, I think I took a photo of it on my phone. Okay. Anyway, like, he wasn't hunched enough, because when I play World of Warcraft, the undead, they don't stand up straight. Okay, this is what I drew. Okay, I was pretty happy with that. I enjoyed. This is what I drew in the food court on my iPad. See how he's like that? I mean, I had a lot of fun with it, right? But he's kind of upright. And when I looked at it, I was like, because funnily enough, when I'm drawing, I don't really step back and look at it. I'm just like so in it, which I love. But when I looked at that picture, I was like, it's cool. I like it, but he's not like got the typical undead. They're always bent over and they look cool like that. So I was like, no, I'm gonna do it again. And the next time I drew it, I didn't even look at a reference picture, because I remembered kind of vaguely what his posture was and his arms and stuff. So when I came home from the train, I got in my car, I turned on my phone was really low on batteries, but I put on my World of Warcraft CD in my car, had that music on, and I had my iPad, and I was just sketching. And then from pretty much not without looking at a reference picture, and then I drew. I don't know if I took a photo of the one I drew, but no, I'll just show you what the finished product was. So happy with it. Okay, that's what I finished with. Oh my gosh, I feel so happy. Like, I like looking at it so much. See how he's more hunched over? And also I drew in an imp as well, because right now when I'm drawing, the last few times I've always just drawn one character, never really more than one character interacting with each other and stuff. So each time I draw a picture, I really try to, if I can, add something to it, like, so I can learn. Like, you know, initially I was just drawing characters just standing there, but then after that, I think I'll try to make them in a cool posture if possible. And then now this is the first picture where I had two things on at once. So basically I had him, and then I drew the little imp there. So it was like two things. The first time I did that, and I really enjoyed it. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. So I drew the blue outline of, I think, both of them, and then my phone was like really low on batteries, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home, because it's a bit harder to color in like just holding the tablet. So I just came home. I got home around, I think around 8 o'clock or something, 8:30. Sat on my desk. I didn't even get changed. I just sat there and I just had the Warcraft music on YouTube, whatever. Drawing it, coloring it in. What was it? Yeah. And when I finished the picture, when I was totally finished with it, it was 11 o'clock. So it was like, what was that? 2.5 hours at home, plus in the car, and a little bit in the food court doing another picture. But it was like I was totally lost in it, and I'm really happy, because often I'll hear like about people who do things and they're like spend hours doing it, like people will spend hours playing piano or whatever, and it's like cool that I found like something that I love doing, that I can do for hours and the time just vanishes. I just love it. Another thing I've noticed is when I'm drawing, I don't even think really, I just do it. Like, I don't even use my brain to think when I'm drawing much, which is, I really like it. Like, it's like, you know, when you're driving and you just get there, but if you stop and think, okay, what am I, you know, when you think about it, then you're like, oh, this is like something much harder. It's like that in a way. I just really love it. And plus, yeah, I just love it. Oh, and I just realized when I was looking at reference pictures for Warcraft, like every single character that they'd make is cool, like dwarves and orcs and blood elves and everything. Like, I could have drawn any of it and had a lot of fun, because their designs are so cool. Like, his shoulder pads are awesome to draw. They're massive. Love it. So I just wanted to make this vlog to say where I'm up to with my drawing. I loved it. I had so much fun. And yeah, now I'm at the stage where I can kind of like pick something and try to draw it, and feel confident that I can like have fun doing it, and like be kind of pretty happy with how it turns out. So I'm just gonna continue trying to improve and stuff like that. But oh, so much fun. And the cool thing is I'm just doing this for fun, and I love that because you know, I always hear about people who are doing things for fun, and yeah, this isn't to get like a job or, you know, anything else. It's just so that I can drawing, just so I can have fun drawing, and I love that. It makes me so glad that I put in all that time, you know, a couple of years ago to start drawing again, because for so many years I was like, oh, I wish I could draw, or I wish I could, yeah, and then I just did it. So it feels so good. So I just want to end the video here saying I'm really happy, and I'm going to try keep improving and stuff like that. I want to keep improving. Yeah.